Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, it's Hump Day, and we're glad you're with us on WKYT. I'm Bill Bryant.
Hope it's a good one for you. I'm Rebecca Smith. It is Wednesday, October 7th.
Our time is 6:31. Tired and frustrated, some concert goers are talking about that major traffic jam after last night's Luke Bryan concert in Lexington. It lasted all night long.
An investigation is underway after a soldier was shot and killed on a Kentucky military base.
Kind of depends on where you are this morning. On the feel up north, we're right around 60 degrees. Down south, it's got a flip-flop this morning. A little bit chilly, roughly 50 degrees, and some in the upper 40s down in far southern Kentucky. And as you plan out your Wednesday, we get into the afternoon, upper 70s to lower 80s again today. Staying dry. How long does that last? Because we do have rain coming up pretty soon. I'll show you that in your forecast just a few minutes.
And let's get right to the news on WKYT. The Luke Bryan concert was over at 11 o'clock. A lot of people enjoyed it, but by 3 o'clock this morning, some people were still stuck in traffic on Tates Creek Road in Lexington.
Can you imagine?
Right. At least one driver ran out of gas this morning while trying to leave Talon Winery. Now, this is Sky First video of the backup on Tates Creek Road. Officer Don told us just a few minutes ago he had never seen a backup like that. At one point, it was 8 miles long.
And WKYT's Mark Barber is live this morning with a look at the concert traffic troubles. Good morning.
Good morning, Rebecca. And that traffic trouble did not end with the concert. Cleanup crews here this morning say that the fans who actually made it to the Luke Bryan concert here at the Talon Winery were still backed up in traffic trying to leave this winery 2.5 hours ago. That's 5 hours after the concert ended. Now, some might consider those fans the lucky ones because they actually made it here. We're told it was impossible for some people to even get to the country music concert because the traffic backup on Tates Creek Road was a nightmare. When about 20,000 fans tried to make their way up the one-lane road for the Luke Bryan concert yesterday, they started waiting in bumper-to-bumper traffic for hours. The concert was supposed to start at 7, but traffic started backing up long before. The backup is being described this morning as a fiasco. Many people eventually left their vehicles beside the road and walked to the concert. Luke Bryan delayed the concert by 2.5 hours to give people the chance to make it here. When it was all over, we spoke with one frustrated driver who ran out of gas while he was waiting. He's questioning if the winery was the right place to hold a major concert.
Well, we were sitting in the car and we could see that there were people in front of us that were sitting there for probably a good, what, half hour, 45 minutes?
Yeah.
And had not even moved, so we decided we would just sit there and wait and see.
Just to let it clear out a little bit.
Now again, many of these fans did not even make it here. This morning we are still trying to figure out if they will receive a refund for their tickets. This morning we are also checking to see if police officers, if the city police department will be receiving any overtime pay for this. There were officers at many intersections throughout the city for the past 12 hours or so. And so again, this morning we are checking to see if this concert will be costly for the city in terms of overtime dollars. That's the latest here from Talon Winery. I'm Mark Barber, WKYT.
What a mess for them. Thanks so much, Mark. Well, there was at least one crash related to last night's concert. Lexington police say a woman walking away from Talon was hit by a truck. The driver was in stop-and-go traffic, swerved to avoid another vehicle, and hit the woman on the side of the road about a mile from the winery. Police say the woman had minor injuries. The driver is not facing any charges.
The time this morning is coming up on 6:35, and new this morning on WKYT, state police arrested a man who they say traveled from Ohio to Kentucky to have sex with a person who he thought was a 14-year-old. Albert Trend was arrested as part of an undercover sting. Police say an officer posed as a 14-year-old girl and exchanged text messages with Trend. The messages included talk about sex. Police say Trend traveled to Moorhead to meet up with the girl, but was arrested after he arrived.
Happening today, a man charged in a crash that killed a young Scott County boy is due in court. William Mefford faces several charges, including manslaughter, wanton endangerment, and leaving the scene of an accident. Back in July, Versailles police say Mefford's truck crashed into a car carrying a family of 4. 11-year-old Ryan Moore died. Mefford is accused of running from the scene. He later turned himself in. There's little damage to a Lexington apartment complex after an overnight fire. Firefighters say it may have been caused by a cigarette tossed into a mulch pile on Old Town Walk off Leestown Road. The fire damaged some of the building's siding, but firefighters were able to put out that fire with a garden hose. Another threatening message has been found, this time at a different Madison County school. There's talk of this being a copycat situation. Clark Moore's middle school leaders say someone found the message on a bathroom wall, and they think it is someone copying a threatening message found Sunday night at Eastern Kentucky University. Richmond police have told us that they are taking the message seriously, but they do not think that any students are in danger. The military is investigating what went wrong during a training exercise at Fort Campbell that left a soldier dead. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is at our live desk to explain what we know about the situation this morning. Michelle?
Good morning. Officials are saying they believe this was an accident. An investigation is underway and may take weeks to complete. An official at Fort Campbell is saying the soldier was shot and killed by another soldier during a routine training Tuesday morning. The soldier died at the hospital on base. The soldier's name is not being released as of right now. A Fort Campbell spokesperson says the soldier was in a squad-level group of 7 to 9 people. The group was conducting a training exercise using live fire when the soldier was shot. The training exercise is routine, and an accident like this one is uncommon.
This is not something that happens often, and in fact quite rare. In the last 2 years that I've been here, this is the first time anything like this has happened.
Injured in the incident. As of now, other servicemen are said to be receiving counseling. Fort Campbell is home to the Army's 5th largest military population. The military base sits on the Kentucky-Tennessee line. At the live desk, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much. We'll stay on top of the investigation into that. And the city of Versailles is a step closer to adopting a fairness ordinance. The Herald-Leader reports that the mayor of Versailles has asked the city council to research and draft a potential ordinance. 8 other Kentucky cities have passed similar laws prohibiting discrimination based on sexual orientation.
Well, this weekend, cyclists around central Kentucky will ride in memory of a Lexington lawyer who was hit and killed. In May, a suspected drunk driver hit Mark Hinkle, who was riding in the Horsey 100 in Scott County. On Sunday, Hinkle's cycling team will be led by police down Lemons Mill Road as part of a memorial ride to honor him. They'll place a bike in the spot where Hinkle died as part of a permanent memorial. The ride is open to the public. 2 southern Kentucky children are with relatives this morning after police say they were found living in just filthy conditions. The Whitley County Sheriff says that someone was called out to the home on Old Mill Road to check on a horse. The investigator found twin boys under the age of 4. One of them was naked. Police also found 3 pigs, 3 dogs, and a rabbit inside the home. The person who police say was in charge of the kids, Frank Lockaby, was wanted on child endangerment charges. The parents, Joshua and Aurora Jenkins, were also charged with child endangerment.
All right, this just into WKYT News. We want to give you a quick heads up on this. A developing story in Lexington. A crash has one lane of inbound Russell Cave Road blocked near Radcliffe Road. This is a live look at the scene right now. We understand that a car has flipped into the grass there. The driver apparently was not hurt, but obviously at this time of morning there is potential for traffic impact. Again, this situation this morning out on Russell Cave at Radcliffe, and we'll keep you updated on what happens there. The Kentucky Board of Education has now approved a contract for the new state education commissioner. Stephen Pruitt will get an annual salary of $240,000 over 4 years. Pruitt is a former executive with an independent education reform group. He will succeed Terry Holliday, who retired in August. Pruitt is expected to begin work in Kentucky later this month. It looks like the surgery was a success for an injured UK basketball player. Dominique Hawkins tweeted a picture from his hospital room. We'll take a look at it here. The junior guard broke a bone in his right hand over the weekend during practice. UK says he will be out for 4 weeks. In his tweet, Hawkins thanked everyone for their support. So he's on the mend, hopefully back out on the court very, very soon. We're going to need him this year, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Good. All right, you may notice that more students will be walking to school this morning.
That's because it's National Walk to School Day. The annual event teaches students about ways to stay safe while walking. Each fall, Safe Kids Fayette County chooses one elementary school for its educational program. This year's featured school, William Wells Brown Elementary. Schools in all 50 states are taking part in this program, by the way. So a good day for weather to enjoy a little walk to school.
Just beautiful. Can you imagine any better? I mean, really.
Yeah,
and
it's perfect.
We have terrific weather this fall so far, right?
Lucking out.
Yep, 6:41 is our time right now, and it's time to check on live drive traffic, see how things are moving out on the roads this morning.
Let's see what's going on. We got a little bit of a busy signal there. Do we have Don on the phone? We're taking a live look at this crash here that we brought you earlier. Now, this one has one lane of inbound Russell Cave Road blocked near Radcliffe Road. A live look. We're told that a car flipped into the grass. We're told the driver was not hurt, so that's some good news from this.
First responders obviously on the scene, and hopefully this will be cleared in the next little bit, and we'll keep you informed even as we get into updates during CBS This Morning coming up in just a few minutes. Of course, we've all been talking about the long ride home for those folks who went out to the Luke Bryan concert last night. Officer Don flew over that, said he had never seen such a backup.
I mean, you would think that, I mean, you know, we were a city of, you know, I don't know how many people.
310,000 or so.
Thank you. You're the numbers person. Yeah. But, you know, it's crazy looking at that long backup. Never seen anything like it.
It really is. And, you know, you're out on a two-lane road, and it was tough getting in and tougher getting out because everybody wanted to go home at once, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see the discussion on that in the days ahead. More news on WKYT This Morning here on your Wednesday.
It's Imagination brought to life. Coming up after weather, we'll show you what happens when some of the world's greatest minds put all their work on display.
Pretty good looking conditions out there this morning. Next chance of rain actually comes later on in the work week. I'll show you when, how it will affect your work week and your weekend coming up next.